dubious. All of it. Terribly dubious. I trust nothing. Somebody's up to something. Probably me. Friday. Q&A. Fanmail. Definitely. So what's been going on? I launched the auxiliary earlier this week, and the response has been absolutely amazing. We've got almost 300 members on the Facebook group. We are working on other non-Facebook options for people who don't do Facebook. We're looking into creating a Discord server. Finally, people have been pestering me about forming a Discord forever, and that's finally going to happen. We're looking into merchandise, hoping to do patches, like embroidered patches out of darts. Seamstress at Arms is looking at embroidering armbands and bandanas. I'm also looking into options for t-shirts and sweaters and loads of other options. So there will be merchandise eventually. All of that, of course, takes time, so be patient. We are going to be at 4 major events this year for sure. I'm going to Jared's Epic Nerf Battle with a friend, and we'll be doing auxiliary stuff there. I will be going to West vs. Zombies. Don't know what I'll be doing there yet, but there will be auxiliary activity. Definitely going to End War, and that's going to be a big one for auxiliary stuff, as well as Ragnarok Oktoberfest, which will also be probably have a lot of auxiliary activity. So all of those events are going to be places where the auxiliary will be active in one way or another. So if you want to participate in auxiliary actions at those events, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Auxiliary is completely voluntary. Loving how the group is coming together. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's really made me very optimistic about the hobby. So MakerSpace is also coming along well, still saving up money. That's just pretty much in the long-term goal process. I'm over halfway there, though, so it's going well. I'm hoping probably in another year to finally be able to find a place and buy a place and get that set up and start all of the big plans I have for that. So stay tuned for that as well. And now, for some questions. Voidwalker. Captain, who is the hardest person you ever sparred, and what weapon did both of you use? That would be John Porter, and we were both using foils. This was when I was in fencing back in college. He was by far the best fencer in the class. I was arguably the second best, but I would argue I was a better fighter. And in the first end of the year tournament that he and I ended up in the finals against each other, I ended up winning by 1 point when the clock ran out. They still haven't found me. I ended up winning by 1 point, 6-5, when the clock ran out, because I fought a very defensive action because I knew I couldn't outfence him, so I instead outfought him. And he hadn't learned all of my dirty lefty tricks yet. The second time we've met in the final, it was his last semester, and he really wanted to win that last tournament. And he smoked me like a cheap cigar. I think I lost 15-5 halfway through the second round. It was brutal. And he was absolutely on his A game that day. And it was impressive. He had learned my dirty lefty tricks by that time, because we've been fighting against each other for a long time. So that was probably one of the best people I've ever fenced was him, and it was a lot of fun. Commander Dante, what other Tolkien races do you like and why? Well, I'm a fan of hobbits, just because they're an awesome people. They like good food and good company, but if you need somebody to actually be there for you, they usually will be. So, hobbits. Hobbits are cool. Christopher Goodrow, what is your favorite kind of pie? Cheesecake. I don't know if that qualifies as a pie, but I don't care. Cheesecake. I don't like fruit pies. I do like chocolate pies, but cheesecake, by far my best. My favorite. Barbro Studios Customs. What is your opinion on Eskrima sticks? Not sure what kind of an opinion you're expecting me to have about 2-foot rattan sticks, but they're sticks. They're 2 feet long. I don't know what you want from me. Johnny Blaze. What is your favorite mythical sword, and would you build it for Nerf? Well, the only one that really comes to mind is Excalibur, and we don't actually know if it even existed or what it would have looked like, so probably not. Lightning Eagle 14. Do you ever plan on getting a ghillie suit? Yeah, they've got a couple. I think they've got one at Tactical X-Men. I'll probably try to talk them out of one at some point. Jar Jar's back! You hunt? No. But my second younger sister does. I think she actually got her deer last year, so I'm hoping to get some jerky out of that. Jacob MF. Would you ever start another channel devoted to LARP? Probably not a whole separate channel. All of the LARP that I do involves Nerf, so I just put it on this channel. I don't do things like Amp-Guard or Belagarth where it's, you know, non-Nerf blasters and all foam. I've occasionally gone to the practices of the local group, but the style of combat used in most like Amp-Guard and Belagarth isn't for me. I know why it exists the way it exists, but the complete lack of headshots and the fact that the weapons are so light they might as well be lightsabers leads to some fighting styles that are so mind-bendingly impractical for actual combat that it hurts my brain, and I have trouble enjoying it as much as I should. So not likely to get into anything enough to warrant a whole channel. Ben Judy. Ahoy, Captain! Ye be o fan o pirates, aye? Yes, I was the pirate of my high school. Our mascot was the Prairie Pirates, and I was the mascot. And then Captain Xavier de Normandy started life as a French pirate. Actually started life as a soldier and then became a pirate and then a privateer and then it accidentally ended up Duke and then became a respected mercenary. It's a long story. But yes, I like pirates. Corey Holmes. Why do you throw the paper at the camera? Because I can. Say to 5. Do racing and driving games cause your motion sickness to act up? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Probably worse than first-person shooters, really, because it's all faster. Dale Linton. Alrighty, back onto the topic of blafes. Blafes? The heck is a blafe? Specifically, if you weren't gonna be a floppy noodler, how would you go about making them retract but still be safe? Well, the trick to safe retractable blafes is partly in the material you use to make your blafe. You know, you're not going to want something you're going to want enough padding, you're going to want a non-metallic or wooden core, something that's not going to break, because the last thing you want is for your blafe to break and the core to stick out and be sharp. Because then you actually have actual functional blafes and could hurt somebody. So making sure that the blade material is safe is fine. Now the question is whether you want blafes that spring out or do you want blafes that spring back? Because you could go either way and both could have their uses depending on game style. I mean, if you're going to be primarily fighting with your blafes, you might want them to retract. So you break your wrists and the blades are spring-loaded to pop back onto your arm. If you're going to be doing primarily gun work but may occasionally need to switch to melee, then having spring-loaded blafes that flip out, where you break your wrist and they pop out, would be the way. And those would both be simple because you just need to have a spring-loaded and a locking mechanism with some kind of a release. Having them go both ways, having blafes that come out and then blafes that go back in, you're going to need to have it motorized somehow, probably. Or pneumatics. You could have a piston system that goes both ways that's actuated by something. But you could do a motor. I've seen one where somebody built a shield that folded up and then retracted and could fold up again by just having, a motor with that pivoted. And you could put your blafes on that, so you poke the button and it flips out, and then poke the button and it flips back. But it's going to be kind of slow, probably, would be the risk. And also, you'd have to have it lock in some way so that, hitting it didn't cause the motor to have issues. So it's definitely possible, but you're looking at a fairly complicated blafe system. And the one that my friend John made, he made a gun blade that, it's got a button you hit and it deploys, it flips out, and then locks into place. And so he could actually swing with it, and then you unlock it and you could close it again. And that was because he's primarily gun, but occasionally needs melee. So he had that option to just hit the button that wrapped around your arm and kind of a release mechanism, and it would flip out. It was featured in the Nerf fashion show, if you want to see an example of a potential safe spring-loaded blade. Phantom 051. What is your absolute favorite expanded universe Star Wars starfighter? TIE Defender. Also, do you like any of the Halo soundtracks? Well, the only one that I've ever heard is the original theme, and I really like it. It's wonderful acoustics, I feel. Jason Wyatt. Have you heard of or read Brandon Sanderson? No. JJ. If you had any advice for modding a double strike, what would it be? Don't screw it up. The double strike isn't a particularly robust platform. You can do a spring upgrade. They sell upgraded springs for it, which will give you a little bit more power. People have... I tried to remove the AR system and make it fire both at the same time when I first got one, but I didn't have a spring upgrade and it didn't have enough power to work at all. With a heavy enough spring, and if you improve the seals enough but not too much, it might work. You could try putting a little bit of brass or rebarreling it in some way to get a slightly better seal, but it's such a small blaster with such a small plunger tube, there's not a whole lot you can really do to it. And it isn't something that really needs to be terribly modded. If you've gotten down to that blaster, they're probably really, really close. There are, however, cosmetic mods. There's some neat barrels that you can get for it. And obviously you could do a paint job. So, you know, for cosmetics, you can do some really neat stuff with it, because it's a nice looking blaster. That's one of the things I like about a lot of the Zombie Strike, is they have so much great potential for paint jobs. With all how complicated the shells are, you can do some really neat stuff with it. Optimus Voltron. Have you ever used any of your combat or martial training in real life? Yes. My 86 Outback. After your explanation about the different Captain Xavier incarnations, I'm reminded of a much more competent Blackadder through the ages. Could they all be related? I doubt that Captain Xavier is in any way related to Edmund Blackadder, any of the incarnations of Edmund Blackadder. But I love the idea of, like, yeah, Captain Xavier being a competent character that keeps reoccurring and seeing Blackadder and just everyone's like, oh, not this guy again. Because I've always loved the idea of reincarnation, especially the what dreams may come way of reincarnation. Whether I truly believe it's something that happens, I have no idea. Well, we'll find out someday. Maybe. Who knows? But I've always liked the idea of, you know, and that's, you know, why some people seem unusually familiar, or places seem unusually familiar, or people are unusually good at picking up certain skills, is because they've been there before, or they've known that person before, or things like that. So, I think it's a neat concept. I like the idea. I love Blackadder, so, you know, the idea of him being a part of that universe is excellent. John Jackson. Who is your favorite Victorian-era philosopher? Well, the only one... Victorian-era. The only one that's coming to mind is John Stuart Mill, so I'll go with that. Dragon Blaster 10,000. If you could live in any fictional universe, be it anime, cartoon, book, video game, etc., which would it be and why? The issue with that particular hypothetical is you're tempted to assume that you're a main character, and that if you're in a world with magic, that you have magic, or if you're in a world with mutants, that you have a cool mutation, or if you're, you know, if you're in Warhammer, you're a space marine and not some, you know, mindless factory worker in one of the hive cities. Which is far, far more likely. For all we know, we're in the Harry Potter universe, and I'm just a muggle. So, you know, or any Dark Age conspiracy world where there is magic, but it's hidden. We could be. How would we know the difference? I actually think that Elite Dangerous would be an interesting world to live in, provided, of course, that I have the opportunity to be a commander and have a ship, as opposed to, again, some mindless grunt in a factory on one of the tens of thousands of human-inhabited worlds. No, I'm going to go with that. And finally, John Miller. Have you ever accidentally broken a bottle of root beer? I'm certain I have. I'm sure that I remember the trauma of such an event, but it didn't leave enough of a mark for me to remember when or where or how. I know I accidentally broke a car buoy of the gnome's wine once just by picking up two at once, and one of them clacked together and the other one just shattered. And I'm sure I've dropped a bottle of root beer, or I know I've tipped over bottles of root beer. I don't know about breaking. Root beer bottles are generally pretty stout. But I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have. Ah! 2 in a row. All right. We have some packages, not a whole lot, and a letter. I love getting letters. Let's get to that. All right. Well, we'll start with the letter because I like starting with letters. Dear Captain Xavier, my name is Ben, I'm 13 and live in the UK. A while back, I emailed you about a Nerf Vulcan. You said it was too much money to ship to the UK, so I was wondering if you could put your signature on a Hammershot, my favorite Nerf blaster, and ship it to me, please. I do not actually have a Hammershot, so you signing it would make it extra special. If this letter is featured on Friday Fan Mail, please do not read my address. Well, I've discussed a number of times why I don't just give away free blasters to everybody, because if I wanted to try to, if I give it to one, then I'm going to have 10,000 people asking me for free blasters, and I simply can't afford that. Despite having a YouTube channel, I am not buried in money, so I am going to have to decline, but I do thank you for the letter. Now I feel like a schmuck. Alright, on to stuff. I'll start with this one, because this one is cool. Because I know what it is. Greetings! Our logistics section has enclosed the patrol polo produced for you during our most recent clothing order. I must apologize for the delay in shipping, as it has been sitting in the office for a month. Those of us back at home office wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I noticed that your viewership has taken an increased interest in MDLM security. If you are interested, I would be happy to make a field trip to your workshop when it passes, because when the pass becomes less terrified to cross. Respectively, Kyle Allison, MDLM Security Group, Field Operations Section. So that is from Sergeant Major Kyle, and he has finally sent me my official MDLM Security polo with the crew logo on it, and that is entirely too cool. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you, Kyle. I will put this somewhere safe and use it appropriately. Most excellent. There's an excellent chance that many of you will get to meet him and see him in action at least one of the events coming up this summer, so that should be a lot of fun. Alright, I'm going to take a look at this one. It's apparently also a t-shirt, and I don't remember ordering a t-shirt, so I am curious what's going on here. Armat Battlefield Systems, peace through superior firepower, and what looks to be the pulse rifle from Aliens. I have no idea what's up with this. I don't know where this came from, or who it came from, or why it came from them, but I like it. That is awesome. I would like to do a pulse rifle, either a Stampede one or one of the various other ones. I think there are even kits on Thingiverse to make it possible. Anyway, that is awesome. Whoever's responsible for this, you are cool, because awesome t-shirts are awesome. When the weather gets nice, you'll actually get to see what t-shirt I'm wearing. I actually forgot I was going to point out what t-shirt I am wearing, but it's cold. I am currently wearing, this was sent to me, I was a guest on the Foamcast radio podcast, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. That is awesome. That is very, very cool. Yes, I was featured. It was one of the first times that I talked about my plans for my makerspace. And yeah, we talked about a lot of neat stuff and plans and hopes for that. So if you don't already watch or listen to the Foamcast podcast, I highly recommend it. All right, let's take a look at this. This comes to me from Madrid. Angel Herraris from Madrid. And I don't know that I've ever gotten anything from Spain before. I might have. I don't remember. So I'm very curious what they have sent me. They have sent me a thing! I don't know! Good job! How do I get to it? Aha! Cap, if this K-26 can actually take a K-26, I want it back. Not just a joke. You get to keep it. But the joke had to be made. Maybe you remember I suggested sending you a deploy for repairs just to troll, poke fun at the haters. You said, I'm game. Alas, the cost of shipping overseas was way over my Geek Jokes budget. That'll teach you. Keep up the good work. You are a positive influence. Not feedy, not lazy. Real name in envelope. So he found this. I'm not even sure what it is, or how it is, or how it do, or what it do. But it says K26 on it. So obviously it needs to get featured in an episode of Can It Take a K26. It's also in my colors. And that is just entirely too cruel. Shoots up to 20 feet. Wow. Shoot play strikers. Superior superpower. For more new items available. Oh, we've got all number K and a bunch of different numbers. That is awesome. Yes, this will be getting featured at some point in the future. I have a whole bunch of small blasters like this that I've been sent that, I mean, odds are they're going to break when we try it, but I will put it in the box and we will have to do a special or something including all of these. I am so very curious how this even works. Oh, I think I see how it works. That's kind of neat, actually. All right, that's going to be fun. Thank you ever so much. That is going to be neat. All right, I have a package here. Another one that is thoroughly unexpected. This one comes to me from Solid, 3D printed Solid. There is a note. Good, an explanation. We have modified the loops on our Kronos and Hammershot holsters per your suggestion in the video. Please try these out to see if they will work. We already plan to start shipping future holsters with the modified loops because we had previous requests for larger loops. If possible, please send the old buckles back to us. Thanks for your suggestion and video. Much appreciated. Greg, 3D Printed Solid. You, sir, are awesome. That, ladies and gentlemen, is customer service on a level that is largely unseen. So, oh, yes. Yes. Look at those. Solid stitching. Slightly adjustable. Or actually, extremely adjustable, because you could, in fact, for larger straps. So, it goes down to a small size, which is probably the right size for mine, but could go up all the way up to a much larger belt. Are these ones any different? Oh, yeah, these ones will be the buckles for the other ones. Oh, see? Okay. So yes, he sent me 4, 2 for each, which I happen to have them right here. Look, oh, yes. All right, yes, definitely. I will swap them all out and send the old buckles back to you so you can retrofit them for future customers. So one of the new ones has a slightly different buckle and doesn't seem to match the previous ones. So that probably just snuck in from a previous batch or something. So I'll take the stitches out and swap it myself. I've got a sewing machine. So you might not get one of them back. I hope that's okay. I will send this one back, of course. That is really cool. And what I might do, it would have been a little bit, arguably more complicated for them, is I will probably slit this down the middle. Just cut it, and then, seal it with fire, and restitch the Velcro so that I can then have it hooked to Molly. And I would only need to do it on this one side, through where the Velcro is, so that I could then put it through Molly loops, and either attach it directly to a vest or something like that. So yeah, that is absolutely perfect. That is exactly what I was looking for and hoping for. So you, sir, are awesome. This is the kind of customer service that you just don't get enough of. That is awesome. So I just need to swap this one buckle out, and then I will get these shipped back to you so you can retrofit them. That, sir, you have a name, sir, Greg, you, sir, are awesome. That is amazing. Get yourself some. That good folk. A quick addendum. I decided to just go ahead and do that swap real quick, so I pulled out my seam ripper and took out the seams of the old one, and those were some of the heaviest duty and most beautiful done seams I have ever had the displeasure to rip out. But I got them ripped out, swapped the buckle over, took the seam out of this one, sewed a new seam back in. Not nearly as pretty as the original, but it will hold for sure. And then I went ahead and did the slit I was talking about. So the upper portion that folds over and has the Velcro, I cut it and then resealed it on the inside just using a lighter, and then re-sewed the inside of the Velcro. And now it will fit on Molly. So with like this heavy battle belt, this big battle belt, you can actually, with the way they've got it designed, get it on there, but there just isn't much Velcro to go all the way around a belt this big. But because this belt has Molly, and because I have now slit the flap, I can now put it through the Molly. And fold it over, and now it will fit. And that is pretty cool. That is really, really cool. I'm genuinely blown away that they not only made that adjustment, that change, but then sent me the upgraded versions. That is just really, really cool of them. So, yes, I have all of the original ones, and I will get it mailed back to you guys, because you guys are awesome. 3D printed solid. Get their stuff. They're cool. All right then. One last large package. Zoom you guys out. You can actually see something. All right. This one, I don't know. I got nothing. I have found the note. Hey man, it is I, the Nerf painter, the Bob Ross of the Nerf world. But jokes aside, here's a long overdue package complete with the promised Oh Canada Skittles, the Blade Jolt for review, and the Long Shot for diagnostic and repair. And for you, I added my new item, a steampunk flash grenade. I'm so sorry it took so long. Grenade pin not meant to be removed. Well, that sounds awesome. Let's get into this. What do we have here? Good Lord. It's got my logo on it. Look at that! Alright, we'll be going into the details on that in featured fan builds at some point. Okay, there's that. We have a long shot that apparently has issues. Sounds fine. What's the problem here? Anyway, that'll go into the future diagnostic and repair. Well, that's just mean looking. I don't know if it has any kind of actual function, but it sure is nifty looking. Look at that. That'll also go in a feature fan build. And Oh Canada Skittles, red and white mix, mélange et rouge et blanc, white grape raisin blanc, strawberry fraise, peach, cherry, watermelon. Well, that's awesome. I just have to give these a try right now. And then I will add them to my every flavor Skittles. Yum. I like that white grape much better than the regular grape. I don't know how you're supposed to tell the cherry, strawberry, and watermelon apart. Those two are different flavors, obviously, but Oh, okay. There's 3 distinct colors in there. I definitely got a watermelon. That's a cherry. That's a good cherry, too. Which means this must be strawberry. No. No. That is a really good flavor. Let's try all of them all together. See how well a combination it makes. That is an excellent flavor palette. You can just throw them all in your mouth at once, and the flavors actually mix really, really well. That is really nice. I'll be adding that to my Captain Xavier's Every Flavor Skittles, which has like 50 or 60 flavors of Skittles in it now, which is pretty good. Some of them are good, some of them not too much. Yeah, right. Well, that is some awesome stuff, you guys. Ah! The box is down! That is some awesome stuff. You guys send me the coolest things, and I very much appreciate it. Particularly like whoever sent me that one T-shirt, the K26 blaster. That is pretty cool. This is awesome. And again, 3D printed solid. You guys are awesome, and I will definitely get the buckles back to you so you can retrofit them. And I'm gonna retrofit my own a little bit. That's gonna be a lot of fun. All right. Thank you for watching.